Look, the things I did in my business career, again, took me all around the world. I worked programs that were between $100 and $200 million in size in many cases, involved a lot of political machinations. They were country versus country. I remember selling a program in Portugal for about $94 million, and that was front page news in Lisbon and in the UK because it involved a British competitor. These are foreign military sales to a large degree, so I had to go to Washington a lot to work with my own government to make these contracts come through. And I found a lot about government. You know, I walked the halls of the Pentagon both as an active duty service member, but also as a businessman. I've walked the halls of Congress as a businessman, and it's an interesting thing. I've walked all of the agencies that are involved in foreign military sales, and what I mean by that is you get to understand what the impact of that is. You get to understand that 100 people don't have to say yes for a program to go through, but only one can say no and hold up everything. So you really get good at the art of compromise. In my business career, I've been involved in change management my entire life. So it almost doesn't really matter whether you have a sales or a marketing or an operations background. If you're involved in change, it's an important thing. And to motivate people, to get people on the same page, sort of the art of compromise with an end state in mind. I had my own small business for about 5 years. I was involved in aerospace exports, working with foreign governments, working with local governments, working with the state of Connecticut, for example, to bring companies abroad to help expand their export markets. Brought me to Massachusetts was life sciences. I got involved in running factories. So I've actually made products here in the United States. I've opened factories, I've closed factories, I've transferred product between factories. I understand the dynamics involved in job creation and job retention. And I've been involved in my community wherever I've lived. And like I told you, I've lived all over this country. I've visited all over this country as a result of my work. I understand what other parts of the country are like and what they value and how unique we are here in Massachusetts. And in doing that, I've been involved in my community wherever I've been. So whether I've been involved in my church, I've been the moderator of my church, I've taught Sunday school, I've raised money, I've been in outreach boards, I've been involved with raising my kids in terms of athletic coaching like many of us do, but I've also been a Boy Scout leader. And I was an Eagle Scout when I was a young man, and when I was out in Hawaii, I was an assistant scout master because so many of those parents were abroad, deployed. I came, as I said, I'm still the scoutmaster here in Hopedale. So these are important things to me. These are things that you volunteer and you spend 50 hours a month doing these sorts of things because it's a passion and because I like working with kids, and that's our next level of leaders and our next generation of citizens, and I try and make them good citizens. I think it's worth an investment of time, and I think the Boy Scouts are probably the best organization for boys ever, and they celebrate their 100th anniversary this year, and I say happy birthday to them, and I wish you 100 more. So let me just kind of conclude this by saying, look, I'm your neighbor. Not necessarily because we live next door to each other, but because we value the same sort of things. We value the community. We value hard work and labor. We earn a living. And that's more than I can say for our incumbent in Congress, who's never had a paycheck really outside of, that wasn't signed by a government agency. Let's just leave it at that. 22 years in Congress. And his predecessor was 35 years in Congress. That's 57 years of single-party rule. I'm your neighbor. I think like you do. You want to come borrow a cup of sugar? Come borrow a cup of sugar. You can borrow my lawnmower. This is our Congress. We talked about, we talk about the Scott Brown phenomena, the people's seat. Well, there are 435 people's seats in Congress. It's called the House of Representatives. We own one of them, and we want to take it back. We want a person who's going to listen to the people in the 2nd District. That, I hope, will be me. And thirdly, this is our time. 2010 is going to be a remarkable year. It'll be a watershed year in the history of the United States. We're going to participate in that. So I need you, this is a call to arms. And I say not just arms, but hands, feet, your heart. I need you to look at this as a military sort of operation, as a deployment for the next 5 months. Through the primary, through the general election. We need to turn people out. I need volunteers. I need feet on the street. We've got a great program going on. We have a campaign office in Douglas. Of course, we are on the ballot. We have a campaign office in Douglas. We are making calls every day from that office. We are volunteering or coordinating our volunteer efforts so that we can reach out to every voter in this district. And I think it's going to be a remarkable turnout for us in September. I have every confidence that we're going to succeed. I think we've got the right strategy. I think we've got the right team in place, a lot of energy out there, but I'm asking for you to make a choice. Make a choice. Look, you've got a choice of candidates for a change, right? We haven't had a competitor in Richard Neal's seat for, I guess it's coming up on 14 years. We have a chance now, an opportunity that we've never had before, at least in half a generation. Think about it that way. Make a choice, line up behind a candidate, and work your tail off for that candidate, because so much is at stake right now. So much is at stake. We can't afford to let this opportunity slip through our hands. So look, thank you for letting me enter your room this way. I know it's a little unorthodox. Take a look at my website if you haven't. Sign up to join Tom at tomwesley.com. Take a look at what we put out. We put out videos like this all the time. There's 50 plus videos out there. We've had over 5,300 views of these videos, which tells you it's like having 5,300 conversations with people. It's a remarkable opportunity. Join us on Facebook. Join us on Twitter. Look at the pictures on Flickr. All that stuff you can navigate right on tomwesley.com. But I thank you for your time and attention. I ask you for your support, and I more importantly ask you for your vote, not only in September, but also in November. So thank you for letting me join you in this unorthodox way. Pick Hannah's brain if you like about me. I'll come back anytime you ask me to do that. And Hannah will take some questions. In fact, what she's going to do is she'll record those questions on her iPhone. She's going to zap them over to me. And if the technology works out right, like I think it will, I'll actually be able to get back to you with some of those questions, and we'll post them on the website or something along those lines, or we'll email them out to you. But make sure we have a way to contact each and every one of you. Thank you very much, and God bless America.